Most people think their mind is under their control. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if your brain can show you things that aren't there, erase details you should have noticed, invent sensations out of nowhere, and even make choices before you realize you made them? This video isn't about ghosts, illusions, or the supernatural. It's about something far more unsettling. Your brain can manipulate your reality without asking for your permission. And the scariest part? You don't feel it happening, because it never tells you when it lies. Today, you're not just going to learn how your brain works. You're going to see the disturbing ways it can distort your senses, rewrite your memories, and shape a version of reality that feels real, but isn't. The déjà vu glitch.
Déjà vu is one of the strangest sensations you can experience. It hits without warning, a room, a voice, a gesture, and suddenly you're convinced you've lived this exact moment before. It feels supernatural, like a memory leaking from another timeline. But what's happening is far more scientific and far more unsettling. Your brain constantly processes two parallel streams of information, one that analyzes the present moment and one that stores your short-term memories. Normally, these two systems are perfectly synchronized. You live a moment, then your brain archives it, present first, memory second. But during déjà vu, this order collapses. For a fraction of a second, sometimes less than a millisecond, your brain fires the memory signal before it sends the present moment signal. Imagine watching a scene in real time, but your brain labels it as a memory before you even fully experience it. To you, it feels like you're remembering something that's happening right now. But in reality, it's the opposite. You're experiencing the present, and your brain is tagging it incorrectly. This tiny timing error creates a massive illusion. A brand new moment suddenly feels ancient, familiar, as if you've stepped into a loop you can't explain. There's no alternate universe, no past life, no psychic insight. Just a microscopic misalignment between two neural systems that usually work in perfect harmony. And because the glitch is so brief, too fast for conscious awareness, your brain doesn't know how to interpret it. So it does what it always does. It invents a story, a feeling, a sense of "I've been here before." Déjà vu isn't a message from the universe. It's a timing malfunction inside your own mind. One that's so precise, so subtle, that it can make reality feel like a memory from another life.
Waking dream hallucinations.
Right before you wake up, your brain enters one of the strangest states a human can experience. It's a moment where two worlds overlap, the world of dreams and the world of reality. Your visual system activates first. Your eyes can perceive the room, the furniture, the light. But your logic and your awareness are still offline. This mismatch creates hyper-real hallucinations that feel impossible to distinguish from reality. You might see a shadow shift in the corner, a shape standing by the door, or a figure sitting at the edge of your bed. Some people see faces, others see silhouettes. Some simply sense something in the room. These are not ghosts. They're not supernatural beings. They're not threats. What you're seeing is your brain continuing to dream while your eyes are already awake. Your consciousness is halfway online, enough to observe the world, but not enough to understand what you're looking at. Imagine having a camera turned on, but the software that processes the image is still loading. For a few seconds, reality becomes distorted. Not because the world has changed, but because the interpreter of the world isn't ready yet. This in-between state is called hypnopompic hallucination, and it only lasts a handful of seconds. But for the people who experience it, it can feel like an eternity. Once your awareness fully boots up, the hallucination dissolves instantly, like fog evaporating under sunlight, and you're left wondering, was that real, or did my mind create it? The truth is simple. Your brain wasn't done dreaming yet.
When you hear the inside of your own brain,
Most people think silence is empty, but real silence doesn't exist. The moment the outside world becomes quiet, your brain starts amplifying the sounds inside your body, sounds you normally never notice. A faint hum, a soft buzzing, a rhythmic whooshing, sometimes even something that feels like a whisper. But none of these sounds come from the room, they come from you. Your brain is picking up blood pulsing near your ears, electrical signals in your auditory nerves, tiny muscular movements inside your skull, and vibrations created by your heartbeat. These noises are always there. Your brain just hides them during the day. But when everything else goes silent, your auditory system becomes so sensitive that it mistakes your own internal sounds for something external. That's why, late at night, you might hear a strange hum or a distant ringing and swear it's coming from the room, when it's really coming from inside your own head. It's not paranormal, it's not dangerous. It's simply your brain trying to interpret signals it wasn't meant to hear so clearly. Hearing the inside of your own head. We think silence means nothingness, an empty room, no noise, no movement. But in reality, true silence does something strange to the brain. When the world around you becomes quiet enough, your brain starts turning up the sensitivity of your hearing, not to detect danger outside, but to pick up signals inside your own body. And suddenly, you begin noticing sounds you were never meant to notice. The soft rush of blood flowing near your ears, moving with every beat of your heart. Tiny electrical impulses firing through your auditory nerves. Subtle muscular vibrations inside your jaw and skull, usually too quiet to matter. And sometimes the low, constant, almost mechanical hum of your nervous system running in the background. These sounds are always there. You simply don't hear them during the day because external noise masks them completely. But in deep silence, your brain has nothing else to focus on, so it amplifies these internal noises until they feel as if they're coming from the room around you. A faint buzzing, a low humming, a distant whistle, sometimes even a pattern of beeps or soft whispers. Nothing supernatural, nothing external. You're not hearing ghosts, you're hearing your own machine operating, a system that never stops, even when the world around you does. It's not the silence that is unsettling, it's realizing that your body is never truly quiet. Your brain constantly creates false memories. Memory feels reliable. It feels like a recording, a permanent file stored inside your mind. But the truth is far stranger and far less stable. Your brain doesn't store memories like a camera. It stores pieces of them, fragments, impressions, emotions, details. And every time you remember something, your brain has to rebuild the memory from scratch. And here's the unsettling part. Each time it rebuilds it, it changes it. Sometimes just a little, sometimes a lot. But the original version slowly fades and gets replaced by a new version that feels just as real. This means that some of your most vivid memories, moments you would swear happened exactly as you remember, may not have happened that way at all. You might remember a conversation that never occurred, a detail in a place you've never visited, or an event that your mind quietly edited to make it easier to understand. Your brain fills gaps without telling you. It patches errors automatically. It rewrites events to match what it believes should have happened. And because the brain presents each new version with the same confidence as the first, you cannot tell the difference between a true memory and a reconstructed one. False memories don't feel false. They feel familiar, clear, and convincing, sometimes even more convincing than reality. Your brain isn't lying to you, it's protecting you. It's simplifying your past to keep your story coherent and your identity stable. But the result is the same. You don't remember your life perfectly. You remember the story your brain tells you. a story rewritten and updated every time you revisit it. Time distortion under fear and emotion. We like to think time is stable, that 1 second always lasts 1 second. But inside your brain, time is flexible. It stretches, compresses, and sometimes disappears entirely. Your brain doesn't measure time objectively. It measures experience, and that experience can lie. When you're afraid, your brain records so many details so quickly that a single moment can feel much longer than it really was. A few seconds of fear can feel like a full minute. When you're bored, your brain slows its information intake until every second feels heavy, as if time itself is dragging its feet. But when you're in danger, or completely focused, or overwhelmed, your brain speeds up its internal clock so fast that entire moments flash by instantly. That's why some memories feel slow motion, while others feel like they vanished as soon as they happened. And here's the twist. You never experience time directly. You only experience your brain's interpretation of time. Sometimes it forgets pieces. Sometimes it compresses them. Sometimes it rewrites them all together. This means your sense of time, your schedule, your memories, your life story, are all influenced by distortions you don't even notice happening. Time doesn't change, you do. And once you realize that your brain is constantly bending time, you understand something unsettling. You're not living inside a perfect timeline. You're living inside the version your brain edits for you. Your brain lies about reality to protect you. Your brain's main job isn't to show you the truth. Its job is to keep you alive. And to do that, it edits reality, sometimes gently, sometimes aggressively, and sometimes without you ever noticing. Your brain filters thousands of details every second, hides the ones it thinks are useless, and highlights the ones it believes matter. You never see the world as it truly is. You see the world as your brain decides you should see it. When something moves too fast, your brain fills the gap. When something is unclear, your brain invents clarity. When something is frightening, your brain can distort, exaggerate, or even erase the details completely. It's not deception, it's survival. When you walk into a busy street, your brain ignores 90% of the visual noise, so you can focus only on the car approaching. When you talk to someone, it removes background chatter, so you hear only one voice. When you're overwhelmed, it may disconnect you from the moment, just to stop you from breaking. You do not experience the full world. You experience a curated version of it, a simplified model built for efficiency, not accuracy. The worrying part? That curated version feels perfectly real. You can't distinguish what you genuinely saw from what your brain fabricated to fill the blanks. Reality is too complex. Your brain edits it into something manageable, something survivable, something you can handle. And once you realize that your perception is filtered, adjusted, and rewritten constantly, you understand something unsettling. You don't live in the real world. You live in the safe version your brain creates for you. The brain can invent sensations that don't exist. Your brain doesn't just process what you feel. Sometimes it creates sensations entirely on its own. A tingling across your arm, a sudden warmth on your skin, a light pressure as if something brushed against you, yet nothing is touching you. These phantom sensations happen when the brain misfires, sending signals that imitate real touch, heat, or pressure. Sometimes your nerves send random noise, and your brain mistakes it for a genuine message. Other times, your brain fills in sensations that should be there, even when they're not. A vibration in your pocket when your phone never moved. An itch that appears out of nowhere. A faint buzzing created by nothing but your own nervous system. These are not errors, they're shortcuts. Your brain is constantly predicting the world around you. It tries to guess what should happen next, and sometimes it makes you feel the prediction instead of the actual reality. Your senses don't always tell the truth. Sometimes they tell the story your brain prefers to feel.
The brain can turn stress into physical pain.
Stress doesn't just affect your thoughts. Your brain can turn it into something you feel in your body. A tight chest, a stabbing headache, a knot in your stomach, a sharp tension in your neck or back. None of these sensations come from an injury. They come from your brain trying to protect you by preparing you for danger that doesn't exist. When you're anxious or overwhelmed, your nervous system goes into alert mode. Your muscles tense, your breathing changes, your heart speeds up, and your brain interprets these signals as pain. Not because something is wrong, but because your brain believes something might go wrong. This is why emotional stress can create real physical suffering. Not imagined pain, not fake pain, but genuine discomfort generated by the brain's attempt to keep you vigilant. In extreme cases, your brain can even shut down digestion, numb parts of your body, or trigger migraines so intense that you can barely move. Your brain is not trying to punish you, it's trying to protect you. But sometimes, its protection feels like the very thing you need protection from. Pain is not always a signal from your body. Sometimes it's a story your brain writes to warn you about a danger that exists only in your mind.
Your brain decides before you do.
You believe you control your choices. You believe your decisions begin with you. But your brain knows what you'll choose before you do. Neuroscientists have measured it. When you make a choice, press a button, lift a finger, pick an object, your brain shows activity several seconds before you consciously decide, up to 7 seconds before. Your conscious mind is not the commander, it's the narrator. It explains the story after the brain has already acted. When you feel an urge, your brain created it first. When you think you chose something freely, your brain prepared the decision in the background, and your consciousness simply agreed with it. This isn't loss of control, it's how the system works. Your brain is always predicting, planning, and preparing actions before you even notice them. It decides the moment to step forward. It chooses the second you look away. It reaches for an object before you realize you wanted it. And then, your conscious mind catches up and creates an explanation that feels logical. Not accurate, just comforting. You live inside a delayed broadcast of your own life, a half-second behind the real decisions. The unsettling part? It doesn't feel that way. It feels like you're in control. You aren't watching your brain. You're watching the version of reality that your brain chooses to show you. You've just seen the most unsettling truth about your mind. Your brain is not a passive observer of reality. It's an architect, a storyteller, a guardian, and sometimes a manipulator. It can bend your sense of time, invent sensations out of nothing, hide details it doesn't want you to notice, and rewrite memories you thought were unshakable. It can distort what you see, amplify what you feel, and make decisions long before you realize you made them. And the strangest part? You never question it. Because its version of reality feels perfect, even when it's not. You don't experience the world as it is. You experience the world as your brain allows you to. So the next time something feels strange, a sensation with no source, a moment that feels too long, a decision that seemed automatic, remember this: your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you, guide you, and sometimes lie to you. Not to deceive you, but to keep you alive. If you want to understand more hidden glitches, dark truths, and psychological secrets of the human mind, then stay, because we're only just beginning.
Thanks for watching.
See you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.